Sequence of events.
The attacker came from behind.
As Paula was sitting at the lab station, he was stabbed in his left kidney first because according to the autopsy, the kidney was the only stab wound on his back. The point of origin confirms this because it is where he was standing and is where all the strings meet.
Powell turned around to defend himself, which explains the defense wounds on his forearms.
The attacker
Continued to stab Powell, which we know from the cast-off pattern in the away direction from Powell. He stabbed him in the clavicle, which hit the brachial artery and caused the arterial spurt found at the crime scene. The blood continued to flow from Powell and started to land in itself, causing the collection of drops and the smaller drops around it.
Powell grabbed the scissors that were next to him and attempted to use them to defend himself. We know that from how the scissors were placed next to Powell with a drop of blood at the tip. Powell put the scissors down as he died.
The attacker left the scene while bleeding, which caused the passive drop trail that exits the scene. As he was leaving, he was stumbling, which is why the stools were knocked over and why there is a transfer pattern of the handprints on the tables from him stabilizing himself. Also, there are footprints of blood from a transfer pattern exiting the scene. Station 1 shows medium velocity drops,
which was most percent of Station 7. Also, the strings at Station 1 help us find the point of origin, which if used in Station 7 would give clues as to how the victim was attacked and from where.
Station 2 helped us find the area of convergence, which helps find the point of origin, which can help detectives in a crime scene. Also, the blood drops dripping down the wall are present in both stations.
Station 3 shows us the angle of impact, which relates to Station 7 because we noticed the angle of impact from certain drops, which shows where the drops came from and help determine the sequence of events the attacker took.
Station 4 shows the point of origin, which allows us to use those skills to find the point of origin at Station 7, which helps identify the attacker's characteristics. The station also shows what a cast-off pattern looks like, which is represented at Station 7 on the cabinet. The cabinet has a cast-off pattern from a weapon being pushed in and out of the victim.
Station 5 shows an arterial spurt, which relates to the arterial spurt pattern found at Station 7. The vast amount of blood at both stations is what helps us indicate this. Station 6 shows how a transfer pattern looks, which relates to the footprints at the crime scene.
Station 8 shows how old the blood is based on how dry it is. This relates to the crime scene because by the time we got there, the blood was all immovable and dried, leading us to believe the crime happened a while before we got to the scene. The autopsy was on April 16th, 2019.
Station 9 showed how blood reacts differently with different surfaces, which relates to Station 7 because there are angled drops in the scene and there are different surfaces in the scene, such as the table that the victim was sitting at and the floor. This station also demonstrates the look of when blood lands onto other blood and splashage, which is seen in the fourth part of Station 9 and at Station 7.
Station 10 showed the direction of the blood drops. Trail 1 was leading towards the window and Trail 2 was leading towards the door. We found this out by comparing the distance between drops and based on the direction of the spines on the drops. This relates to Station 7 because the drops on the outside of the scene indicated direction and that they were drops exiting the scene from the attacker.